Welcome! Today we find ourselves in the New Forest and I haven't been out for a while, so I'm really quite excited. This is, doesn't look it, but it's high summer in southern Britain, south of England. And I can't see a patch of blue sky anywhere, which is why I've come out to a wood, because I think actually that's a great time to take pictures in the forest. It reduces the contrast. What I would like, but I can't have everything, is maybe a bit of fog or mist, or some wet, glistening leaves, that kind of stuff. But we don't have that, so I'm just out here to get my fingers on the camera again, spotting compositions, pressing buttons, because I haven't been doing enough of that. So I'm excited. For just this next couple of hours, I'm headed down towards a little river in a place called Acreswood, more of a brook really than a river. I haven't got a particular composition in mind yet, but I'm sure I'm going to find one. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Catch up with you in a minute. Well, believe it or not, this is a path. What I like to refer to as an aspirational path. But it's just about there. Well, here we are at the stream, or brook, or river, or whatever we want to call it. And well, as you'll see, it's pretty dry, right down to the shale in places there. Barely getting past this section here. So I'm not really sure that I'm going to get the pictures that I was hoping to get today. I brought my 10-stop, the Lee Big Stopper ND filter, in hope that I would be able to use it to create some nice texture on the water surface. But I don't think that that is going to really happen because the water is just barely moving. It's really just pretty much standing in pools. It doesn't mean there's nothing to be photographed. I'm going to have a little wander up and down the bank, see what I can find. I am quite attracted by, over here, built into the bank, there's some little logs and they definitely caught my eye. I might pop round that side, see if I can get an angle on them. That's worth having. I brought a couple of cameras with me today and a banana, excellent, and an apple, there you go. And what I really wanted to do today is make use of this new lens that I brought with me. Hopefully the camera will show this. This is a Nikon 50mm f1.8G lens. And I also brought with me my trusty Sony RX10 Mark IV, which has been a great camera actually. Very pleased with this. But it is what it is, it's a bridge. And then in addition, I've brought an additional lens, an extra lens for the Nikon D750. And this is the one that I bought really for doing astrophotography. It's 20mm wide angle fixed focal length, and again it's an f1.8, and that has proven to be a cracking lens for astro. It did take me about 9 months before I got out with it. Was it 9 months? Might have even been a year and 9 months. It was a long time between buying the lens and the camera and being able to use it because of the pandemic. I think it was a year and 9 months. But there you go. Finally got out to do it and got some really beautiful astro stuff up on Dartmoor. But nevertheless, it's not just an astro lens. So what we're going to do with this particular shot, I'm going to go and size it up, and I may have to do a little bit of zooming with my feet with my 50mm lens to try and get the framing right. I think I need to actually get down in the water with the tripod. It's so dim in here, there's so much cover, leaf cover. I don't think I need to break out the big stopper. And particularly by the time I put a polarizer on, you know, we're going to end up with something like probably a 4-second, or well, between 2 and 4 second exposure, I think. And so I'm not going to break out the big stopper. We'd end up with about a 2-minute exposure completely unnecessarily. So we'll try that first. Polarizer, 50mm lens, getting in close with that. There's some nice foreground here, which I can use, which is some of the gravel in the riverbed there. And then use the little brook itself as a lead-in line. So I have realised that sadly I have no means of attaching my polarizer to that lens, and so I'm going to have to do a naughty with it, and improvise something. Well, that is surprisingly effective. Yeah, it really does cut down the glare quite nicely. Okay, composition first. You can see why I brought my wellies today. Enables me to stand in places that otherwise you just wouldn't. So I'm on f13. 50mm lens, ISO of 100, with a polarizer. And I'm going to have to use a shutter speed of, yeah, I estimated 4 seconds, and 4 seconds is what the meter is telling me. Yeah, I might have to just do a little bit of housekeeping and move this log out of the way. Now, let's just check focus. So, we've got an f13 aperture, so it's not too deep a field from where I'm actually at now, so I'm kind of hoping that I can focus about a third of the way in. sharp enough. So one without the polarizer. At a 2-second shutter speed, and we'll do one at 4 seconds with the polarizer on. Okay, I'm going to try a slightly different composition. I'm just going to fill the frame a little bit further with these by getting in closer. So I much prefer this composition from here. I'm in much tighter. It's brightened up a bit since, just in the few minutes since the last shot, and so I've come down to 1.6 seconds instead of 4, because it's just overexposed, and I've focus stacked these logs. Probably overly cautious doing that really, I'm not sure it needs it, but nevertheless that's what I've done. So I'm on a f13 aperture, ISO 100 and 1.6 of a second with a polarizer on. And yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with this. So I think what I might do is just do a little bit of wandering around. Just looking over my shoulder here to my left, just noticing this view there around the river bend of this fantastic tree and a big limb that has fallen off it, the roots that are exposed in that bend in the river. There's got to be a shot there, so I'm going to just have a little look at that, see what we can find. I'm just thinking right there like that. That could make a nice shot. So I'm going to bring everything up over here, see what we can make of it. I think what we'll do, we'll use a, what will we use? I think we'll use a much wider aperture here, and because I want to throw those trees in the background out of focus, otherwise it's going to be a bit busy. They don't need to be massively out of focus, but just enough to make it obvious what it is that we're concentrating on here. That's a nice image, isn't it? So I have tried a slightly different angle on this, having come round from roughly this kind of position. And I've been debating with myself whether or not to keep this tree here in the image, and I've decided to keep it there, and then I can always crop it out in post if I decide that it's really extraneous. There's something about this that's really nice. I might try, I can't try, I'd like a wider angle, but I can't really use a wider angle, because if I do, then I'm going to get this bright sky in the background into the image, and I really don't want that. And then in terms of camera settings, what have we got? ISO 100 again. I came right down to f4.5, really, because you tend to find with the longer focal, well, this focal length at 50 mm, the background was too in focus at f7, f6, so came right down to f4.5 in the end, 1/6 of a second, and focused on the tree itself. So it's just been a short little outing, really, just a morning in the New Forest, just half an hour away from home, and it's just great to have this pretty much in my backyard. There are so many beautiful spots like this, and that's one of the great things about the New Forest, is that you don't have to plant yourself somewhere where there's just loads of people and tons of other photographers, because there are loads of little intimate spots, little cameos, little images to be had. I could gladly spend another day, the rest of the day here taking pictures, but I've got a little bit of work to do back at home and get ready for a carpentry job. So I'm going to pack up my stuff in a moment and head back. I might just keep my trusty Sony RX10 in my hand on the way, so if I do see something I just want to take a quick handheld picture of on the way, I can do that. But in the meantime, I hope you found something from this. Hopefully I've got a couple of images out of this short little trip, and if I have, and if they're worth sharing, I hope that you'll enjoy them. So thanks for watching, and see you again next time. Bye.